Now we start Reel 4A. I've put the title on the leader into the movie so that I do not spoil this title that I made with such laborious effort. Every letter having to be stuck on. Tells you we're going to the Bahamas in February 1969. The Bahamas at that time was a British colony, ruled from the Houses of Parliament in England. It was a very marvellous vacation we had. It seemed to us an extraordinarily nice place. Everybody was very kind and helpful. Mum took ill once, and the people in the hotel just could not have been nicer. Note the British-style telephone booth in the background, the red. Looked quite different from the US, and of course the weather was dramatically different from the weather we had left in Michigan in February. I was very close to my 30th birthday. Mum had recently become 26. The market was particularly interesting. It was always bubbling activity. It was fun to watch the commerce and interaction between the people. They spoke English. One of the wondrous benefits of the British Empire, that one language was spread throughout the world. Harbours are always interesting. It's just so nice to be able to walk about in the open. Even when the weather is fine, there's not a lot of walking in the sort of environment in which we live in Bloomfield Hills. Main industry was tourists. All the essentially all the white folk you see walking around are tourists. They made the island seem to be rather prosperous. No major panhandling or signs of people in really desperate situations as you see in any US urban area. And of course fishing was big. They are conch shells. There's meat on the inside which is removed. The shells are basically junk that tourists can find or buy depending on their inclination. There are lots of them just lying around. So harvesting for exceeds any market that would be for souvenirs. I've forgotten what the meat tasted like. Presumably it tasted like chicken, like just about everything that you haven't had before tastes. There's a cruise ship that was visiting Nassau. We were in Nassau. Here we see them doing the lifeboat drill. There I am, sitting in the back of a glass-bottom boat. It's wonderful to go out and see what was under the ocean in such a comfortable way. And of course, if the glass breaks, the boat doesn't sink because it's got two hulls that are keeping it afloat. The water would just rise a few inches above the glass, and that would be it. Coming into port, I just love being on board boats. Sun shone most of the time. Water was blue. And now I'm out swimming in the bay at Nassau. Warm water, sunshine, didn't worry about the sun. Just having a great time. And there are conch shells lying on the ground. We brought a number of them home. There's a limit to how many you can carry. Nice to reflect, in those days there was absolutely no airport security. You just got on the plane the way you on a bus or taxi. The only thing you needed was a ticket. Well, and for foreign travel you did need a passport. I did correct myself, you needed a passport to go out to the US if you're planning to come back. And you would need the passport to land somewhere else. I was never a confident enough swimmer that I would often swim out of my depth. Very occasionally I was feeling unusually happy about the situation. And there at last we've got pregnant Mum in the picture. She was, as you can see, very pregnant at this stage. Looks just a glow. We get lots of beautiful sunsets over the water in Nassau. At this stage I had 2 weeks, 10 days vacation from GM, so this has consumed one of them and there was still 5 days left for other time off. There was no such thing as paternity time off. And look what we have here. At long last, baby Anita makes an appearance in Grandma's arms. You just have to guess how old she was here. But Wendy's mum and dad came very soon after Anita was born. And Grandma was, of course, totally taken with Anita, as we all were. Loved to take her out for a ride or doing anything else with her. These being movies, I gravitated towards the things that were moving. It may even have been Mum taking this. And there we see a wonderful close-up view of the 1967 Biscayne. It's so central. Looks mighty sharp and clean there. With the years and ultimately decade, it of course took its odd scrape and scratch and rust. Cars rusted much more then than now. Much improved anti-rust. This is of course rambling around Somerset Park. lots of nice walking without too much traffic. And we don't see too much of Anita. And there we see her, but alas, it's rather dark. Still struggling with this low speed film. There we've got her in the sun on her playpen. That's better. Wiggling. Doesn't look totally happy. Got a green turtle that she liked. Hey, you dearie. From now on, Anita will be the star of her movies. Goodbye ducks, goodbye elephants, goodbye monkeys, and welcome Anita. There's Mum playing with Anita. She did a lot. She looks happy there, doesn't she? We just have to guess what age Anita was here. There's no date stamp on any of the material. She's getting her bath. Yeah, she seems to quite like that, don't you, darling? I had that old bath until very recently. Getting my toes tickled. We're on a big trip. I'm just getting fed on the road. We're on the way to Georgia to visit a very dear friend of Grandma's. Somebody Grandma's known since she was a little girl. She's called Betty, and she lives with her husband. He was in rather poor health in a big home in Marietta, Georgia, which it was the home of Lockheed, big Lockheed plant. And there we see the Hood of Biscayne as we go through some very nice scenery on the way. We didn't stick to the freeway all the time. Much nicer than we'd rather do. And there we see Betty and Mum with their darling little Anita between them. Nice warm Georgia fall weather. Anita would have been about 5 months old here, I would guess. I don't remember the exact dates of our trip, but she's looking pretty happy. Giving a tummy tickle. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first part of Reel 4, but we'll be continuing on this theme in the second portion.